In this video, I spent 80 hours building this giant MrBeast mural in survival Minecraft. I had to build a wither skeleton farm and find more than 16,000 different blocks for this build, one of them being netherite blocks. This MrBeast build is going to take a lot of different blocks to finish, and one of the most time consuming to collect has got to be coal. I need 3,000 blocks. I could just go mining for coal, but that would literally take forever. So I flew through the nether to find this specific fortress in a soul sand valley and got to building an awesome wither skeleton farm. Man, these blazes are annoying. With the farm done, I then sat in this spot for the next 10 hours just killing wither skeletons. I also needed 555 bone blocks from MrBeast, so after killing more than 15,000 wither skeletons, I had 2 blocks checked off my list. Back in the overworld, I spent the next couple of hours collecting random blocks I need for this giant MrBeast build. I put all the different blocks into my shulker boxes before getting ready to collect one of, if not the most time consuming block of this build, netherite. I was going to need almost 300 ancient debris and 2 netherite blocks on top of that. I headed back into the nether and started mining. I tried out a new technique that was apparently faster than using beds, but after 30 minutes of finding 0 ancient debris, I started doubting it. But then I realized this shader pack made ancient debris look like quartz, and wait, that's ancient debris. I spent 6 whole hours mining ancient debris and only managed to find a measly 2 stacks afterwards. I was pretty exhausted from mining, so I decided to head back to the overworld and get started on building MrBeast with the materials I had. A lot of the MrBeast mural was MrBeast's shirt, mostly consisting of 3 different blocks: concrete powder, black wool, and coal, so I got to work on laying down blocks and I've already messed up. At first, progress moved slowly, and at the rate I was going, I was worried this was going to take half a year to finish, but over time I got faster and faster. Then, after only 13 hours of placing blocks, I finished MrBeast's shirt. MrBeast is kind of missing a head, but he'll be alright. So far in this video, we've built a wither skeleton farm, found an assortment of different blocks, gone mining for ancient debris, and now just finished building MrBeast's shirt. Which is a lot, but we're not even halfway through this build. With the beast shirt done, I started collecting the rest of the blocks I'd need to finish this build. 200 raw iron blocks, 1,000 sand, 1 single sponge. Where is this even gonna go? Another block that proved difficult to collect was copper. I need more than 500 waxed copper blocks, and some of them need to be oxidized. After caving for a couple of hours, I smelted and crafted all the copper blocks I needed for this build, then watched it all rust in a time lapse. At this point, I had collected 99% of the total blocks I needed to finish building MrBeast, leaving only 1 block left to collect: ancient debris. I only had 33 left after using some of it in the build and for armor, so that meant I had 4 whole stacks of ancient debris to find. Here we go. I was tired of what I'm going to call brute force mining, so I switched to bed mining to see if it was any faster. Hours passed. My hands were hurting and I was tired. This is so boring. Why did I do this? I was becoming exhausted, but I had to do this. I needed the ancient debris. I needed to finish building MrBeast, so I kept going. 3 hours mining ancient debris, and I'd only managed to find 2 out of the 4 stacks I needed. Make it end! Man, this is why I can't play hardcore. I'm so glad ancient debris can't burn. Run out of beds, so back to mining, but luckily I only had 1 more stack of ancient debris to go, so I tore through chunks as fast as I could. All this time spent mining, all the carpal tunnel, all for this moment. And at 5:23 in the morning, I finished. But only with collecting netherite. I still needed to build MrBeast's head, which would prove to be the most difficult part of the build. After mining, I was lost over 1,000 blocks away from my nether portal, and on top of that, I was all out of food. Slowly and carefully, I made my way back to my nether portal and left the nether. Back in the overworld, I had all the blocks I needed to finish building MrBeast. Let's go. If you've been enjoying this video, I'd really appreciate it if you could kindly destroy the like button for me. Just doing that would really help out a ton. No matter how pumped I was to finish this build, progress was still slow. Constantly switching between blocks in my inventory and doing things like messing up on this spot 4 times made this build take literally forever. But no matter how hard it was, I had to finish this. I've put way too much time into this video to give up now. I spent almost 10 hours working on MrBeast's beard because of the high concentration of blocks, and looking at his hair made me want to cry. MrBeast, why can't you be bald? Building was hard and slow, but I was still making good progress. I got MrBeast's eyes done and most of his hair, but then things made a turn for the worse. Those were the last 2 pieces of ancient debris that I had, and I still needed so much more to finish this build. I didn't mention it, but earlier in the build I ended up losing my purple shulker box while building. I didn't think anything of it at first, but obviously there was something pretty important in there. A whole stack of ancient debris. No way am I going back to the nether. I'm done. No, I may have to find another stack of ancient debris, but I'm almost done building MrBeast. I've got this. Almost done. Almost there. And I did it. I built MrBeast in survival Minecraft. Now I've got a giant MrBeast watching over me.